Yeah, and Bruno went up to him like at halftime saying, "Get your shit together. You deserve to be a captain."
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right. So this week, I actually got a win. Surprisingly enough,
Hell
I beat Juan. Trying to pull up the scores right now. I know that Chilwell for me got, I think, 15 points. Got a goal and assist and a clean sheet, so that was pretty good. He got 3 points bonus. And then I didn't have Doherty start for Spurs because Aryer did, and Bowen I picked up off the waiver, and he subbed in because he got a goal this week, and so that was basically it for the rest of my team. No one else got more than, well, I think Tammy actually got, I picked him up as well for Watkins, which was a major mistake after this weekend. Watkins, of course, the second I drop him gets a hat trick, so just typical.
Devastating.
Just typical. And then I think Van Dijk got negative points and Martial got negative points as well. It was the red card, and then Van Dijk got 7 goals scored on him. So, but still beat one. That's all that matters.
Very nice. I took down the league leader. COVID isn't real. United. So it was Joseph. And made way for Palmer to jump to the lead on points.
Mm-hmm.
So, but me and Joseph had a very close match. I was 52. He was 49. His big players were Son and Sterling, and Rodrigo had 1. And then I won off of bonus points from Sayes. I mean, he keeps coming in for me more than any of the other players that I don't know if I drafted him or not. He was that low.
Roman,
Yeah, and he's just coming through week in, week out, without even being asked. He's just coming in and putting on a show and saving my ass. And I've been inclined to sell him over and over again, and I can't bring myself to do it. So he might just be on my team all year and keep performing miracles. I had a penalty with Fernandez. That was nice. He got 6 there. Trossard had an assist per usual. That's what he does. He got 5 points. Wilson had two goals and an assist and 3 bonus points. And it's ironic, poetic really, that Joseph slandered Callum Wilson and Newcastle for weeks, and that 3 bonus points from Callum put me over. Callum never did anything to deserve the slander, and he's just coming in like Sayes and bringing it home for me. But that was close. And then, like I said, Palmer, he's on top too right now on points. Rodriguez at 18 points, 2 goals, an assist, 3 bonus. Rodriguez is coming through this season.
Mm-hmm. Taking the place Storm. The other top performers of the week, I know Grealish got the most points. I'm pretty sure he had the 2 goals, and I can't remember, 2 goals and 3 assists. And obviously he got the bonus for that, so he got 24 points this week. And if Hung had any other players, he would have probably won because, well, actually, I think who he played was Victor, and Victor got 62 points because Salah got those 2 goals for nothing. Jorginho got 2 penalty goals, and then of course Zuma scored for him, and then
Clean sheet too.
Clean sheet, and then Bellerin got 2 assists out of nowhere. So
yeah, both goals he assisted.
Victor had a really good week, and he had Kepa still on his team, and he had Allison in goal, who was not supposed to be playing until November.
Yeah.
So, God, it's so frustrating looking at his team, and he's getting these points.
Zuma's going off this year. Jorginho's going to get penalties, so that's in the bag.
Then we can't forget about Son and Kane. Son got 2 goals and 1 assist, and he got 3 bonus points. So he had 18 on the week, and then I can't remember how many Kane got. Kane got 16 points, 2 goals, and an assist, and a clean sheet. That doesn't really matter for him. So they were the top performers of the week. If you had them players, congrats. And I'm pretty sure Calvert-Lewin also, well, he only got a goal, so he only had 1.
Calvert-Lewandowski.
But, excuse me. But he's got a goal in every game, and in 4 games, he's got 6 goals. So he's
1 hat trick.
Yeah, he's definitely a player to try and trade for, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. And then in our league, there was a first trade, and it was Pogba for Pereira. Yeah, from West Brom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think that's an awful trade.
Who did that?
Joe and KG.
Oh.
KG just got Pogba for Pereira.
KG, that's messed up, man.
Yeah, that's like daylight robbery.
Borderline disrespectful. I respect it though. So,
I mean, Pogba's been just useless these past few games, but maybe you could put it down to he had COVID and he's not playing well or whatever, but there's no way he plays like that for the rest of the season.
Look how he plays on France with all those world-class players. He has a field day. He's a fucking kid in a ball pit. He's just loving life. He comes back here, he's going to play with Dan James. Look, and
it's not. And the transfer window just ended, and United didn't sign a right midfielder, even though a right midfielder has been the priority for.
We signed 2.
2 years now. Those dudes are 18. I'm hyped for them for the future, but we needed one for right now, and we did not get one.
I'm pretty sure they said Palestri is
He's going into the front, yeah. But the thing is, then why didn't you sell Dan James for $25 million to Leeds?
Dan James is a left midfielder. He's back up to Rashford. Palestri's going to be back up a rotation with Greenwood and Mata.
But then now that you have Cavani, United picked up Cavani from free agency, put him in striker, and then you have Martial and Rashford on the left.
You can stack the left side, dude. I mean, that's what we do anyway.
No, what I'm saying, like, instead of Martial starting, you either put him and Rashford at left mid and let them compete.
Both at left mid, yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think that's going to happen because we already did that to Martial once, and he'd probably leave if that happens again, which between him and Rashford right now, I'd probably, as of this moment, based on form, I mean, Rashford had a goal against Brighton, but other than that, he has looked terrible. At least Martial was actually have a movement, and if he had delivery, I think he would do a lot better. But with Cavani coming in and then Tejas coming in as a left back, thank God I never have to see that fat, just awful player. I'm not going to even go there with him, but Luke Shaw. I'm so glad I never had to see him play again.
You know, it's out of nowhere, this hate. I mean, it's undeserved.
Dude, he was absolutely lost in that game the other day.
Oh, he was the only one?
Ethan. He was so far out of position for 4 goals.
Yeah. All right. Who was in position that game?
Maguire, just because he couldn't move anywhere else.
Maguire's never in position.
When we have the ball, yeah, he's not in position. When we don't have the ball, he is in position. But if you look at the 5th and 6th goal, maybe not the 6th one because I think that one was the penalty, but there were 2 goals in a row where Shaw was nowhere to be found on the left side. It was Son's 2nd goal, I'm pretty sure. He was nowhere to be found on the left side. And then whenever someone did eventually start running over there, he stepped up to the midfield and didn't even follow his own player.
I saw that.
Like, what are you doing?
That's just I think that's his experience coming out, and I think
the first goal was, I don't really blame him for, because Maguire was tackling his own player. Maguire has done that quite a lot. If you actually look into like the last season, you look up, obviously on Twitter now they have all these compilations about how Maguire's been terrible, but there's like about 3 or 4 times where he legitimately tackles like his own player, and then there's that time against Sevilla where he wasn't anywhere near the ball and was completely looking the absolute wrong direction. And I said,
he tried to take it off Matic one time too, and then
Yeah.
dribble around in circle. Was that the
yeah,
same?
the exact same, yeah. And I said this time last year that Maguire is literally just a bigger Phil Jones and he's not worth $80 million. And I got slandered for it on football Twitter.
He's
But who's right now?
He's well. Why was he so good at Leicester though? Was it because he was the best defender? He's not the best defender here. But why is he so flustered now? Is it the pressure?
Well, you see, he had a good.
How did he go from like being
An average.
doing well? Yeah,
Because when he was at Leicester, I mean, he was scoring a lot as a center back as well that season, so that helped a lot. And then the year that United, I think, did United buy him the year after the World Cup, or was it that year that they bought him?
after the
Yeah.
World Cup.
The World Cup is I didn't really hear about him before the World Cup. Like, I knew he was on Leicester. I knew he was a solid big defender and he was like physical. But that World Cup, for some reason, his all these people started hailing him and saying he's the best center back in the league and all this. And then he goes and has a decent season, like Leicester did okay for Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a center back for Leicester and you like kind of overachieve for them, you're going to look really good. And if you're scoring goals, then because I know he scored against United, I think he scored against Chelsea, and he scored against Liverpool in that season. So when it came down to the end of it, so that also makes the hype go up, which makes the price go up. But I never thought he was like a defender where you're like, wow, he's a defender that can completely change a defense. And
he's garbage. I mean, every center back we have is lacking something that the other one has, except on it. Smalling's probably the most all-round center back that was at our club.
Yeah.
I would say, if you were to take.
Yeah, and people will slander Smalling all they want, but he was fast, he was physical, he could play the ball pretty well if he had time, and he was a vocal leader in the back.
And he had to babysit Phil Jones too.
Yeah, exactly.
No
one is good as a partner with Phil Jones.
No, and
so
nobody's good as a partner with Lindelof either, because he was partners with Lindelof too, and so is Maguire. I mean, Lindelof. Yeah. I don't know if it's a lack of communication or it's. I think a lot of, and I've said this, I think a lot of it is Maguire trying to take the game into his own hands most of the time, and Lindelof's back there 2-on-1 scenarios sometimes.
See, Lindelof to me seems like
they're not a good partnership, and they're not good center backs.
The thing about Lindelof is he's more of a center back that you cover for. He's the one who you want to go try and win the ball.
Lindelof.
Yeah, because he can't cover, obviously. When Maguire steps up, he doesn't cover Maguire ever. And then
you think he's the push to Maguire's? You think it should be opposite traits?
Yeah, it should be opposite, because at least Maguire can actually read the game well a little bit.
But
I'll give him that.
Personalities too, because Maguire's more robust in the game too, so you expect him to be the stopper.
Yeah, I agree, but Lindelof, when United have the ball, Lindelof is decent. He can play the ball. He has good delivery
with time.
With time, but he is not physical enough.
No.
He can't head the ball, and he doesn't have the speed, and it's just so frustrating watching him play. I'm really hoping that now that Axel Tuanzebe's back, that he and Bailly become the center back partnership, which is not going to happen because there's no way Solskjaer doesn't play Maguire.
Who is our cover center back? I think Maguire and Axel would be a good. Axel's more of a cover center back, but he can be an aggressor too. But from what I've seen with Axel, he's very like aware of what's behind him, whereas Maguire's usually not.
Yeah.
And neither's Lindelof.